A revolutionary. Say whoa. Trap revolutionary. Got the wave of too scary. Doing this thing like Malcolm ain't by any means necessary. We ain't got it by no one seen hand. We got the master plan. Get the move.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all want to make this video real quick. So they granted Karmelo's motion to recuse Judge John Roach Jr. from overseeing any post-trial proceedings. So that was a major win. Actually, I was going to go today and be there at 9, but I had to take my dad to the doctor this morning at 11. So I didn't go over there, but I'm going tomorrow morning. Where it's going to be, and by the time you see the video, it's going to be the next day, but I'll be going. So that's Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. They'll be having a hearing for a new trial, based on certain constitutional issues. Them like shutting down the courtrooms, limiting public access, to the new trial. To the original trial. So that's, what I'm saying. Also fair trial problems, possible biases. I mean, judge and the prosecutor, I would say the jury as well. People in the jury pool were I think, biased, towards him, towards the trial, towards Karmelo, and the whole, everything surrounding the incident. So I just want to make this video real quick and just talk about that because, man, that's a big thing. And I think it's very important that, that he actually get a new trial. Regardless of everything that occurred, whether people think he's guilty or not, he should get time, whatever that happened, he should get another trial because it's a lot of things that happened surrounding that. And then mainly the jurors, it wasn't any, like I said, jury of his peers, and I would say, not to, just to, play a race card, nothing like that, but, for you the school teachers, that's actually who should actually would be the best people to oversee the case or be on the jury, because they are teachers. They know students, they know the behavior of students, so I think that was mainly major. That was very major to strike the 3 jurors who were black, they were educators. That was just a major error. But anyway, I think, that's one of the main issues, but, and in addition to that, all the other things surrounding the biases, like I said, from the judge, prosecutor, jury, possibly, surrounding the case, it just like warrants a new trial. Just no way he was just going to get a fair trial, from the jump. But anyway, I want to make this video real quick and report on that, man, because I just thought about that. Just want to say that it's very important. And another thing, this is what one of the things I want to point out. It shouldn't even, it was so crazy about it. It shouldn't even get this far. Like where you have to think about this, like really think about what I'm saying, where you got to have, man, like 5, 6 attorneys to step in because it was such a blatant disregard of jurisprudence, like jurisprudence, and him getting a fair trial, like a blatant, just disregard of the law and trial. I would say just trial procedure and just trial etiquette. I would say it like that. That's the best way I can put it. Like from the judge, the DA, the prosecution team, just like a blatant disregard of jurisprudence, of them actually following the law. They just wanted a conviction, and that's what I said in a prior video, because they know regardless, he's going to have to do some time, like he was convicted, and he's going to have to sit in there for a minute, so he might not get a chance to you want to get out like as soon as possible, but it's like I said, I think it would take 2 years, even if he's, brought back, given a new trial, and they may say time served, it may still take a year or 2, what I'm saying, because once they get you in court, the so-called wheels of justice, man, they don't turn fast. They turn very slowly, so they turn very slow. So it's not going to be just like, bam, I'm back, trial, I'm free, or bam, I got back on trial. I had my first day in court, and and now I'm I have my just due, or I got a just proceeding or whatever, or I had my just due in court. So it don't work like that. But anyway, that's what I believe the prosecution knew, DA, judge, whoever, they knew that. They're like, hey man, we're gonna make sure we get this conviction, so we know he's gonna do some time regardless. He gonna see the inside of a prison cell, we're just to be sure that regardless if he overturns it or whatever, he gets a new trial, we just gonna make sure he sees inside the prison cell. So I think that's what it was, just what it was from the jump. The biases that were there from the jump, implicit biases that were there, from the just the whole initial process, initial proceedings. But anyway, I just want to say that, man, it just shouldn't be. It shouldn't. It's sad, man, that it has to even get to this level where you got all these lawyers coming and having to do this because of the unfairness of the whole situation, of the whole trial. Shouldn't even have to be that, you know what I'm saying? But that's is what we face in America. Black people. It's sad to say that's what we face, you know what I'm saying? It's a system. It's a system of two separate systems, you know what I'm saying, for black and white people. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, not to play no race card, nothing like that, but just what it is, man. Because it's not, I've never seen any, like people get sentenced like this, white, children of, adults get sentenced like this to where people had to step in and say like, oh no, this was a total violation of law, a total violation of constitutional law, and trial proceedings. You know what I'm saying? Never seen it. And if it is out there, you know what I'm saying, it's probably very far and few in between. But and another thing I want to state as well, Karmelo's situation. What's so crazy about it? It ended up being brought to light. It's so many young black men that have been railroaded. You know what I'm saying? And crossed out and sent to prison. You know what I'm saying? For crimes they may have done, but crimes they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, crimes, and then people that get over sentenced. Now, I truly believe Karmelo was over sentenced. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't premeditated. He was not trying to kill him. Like, he just went there. He knew he was finna kill him. He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing, man. But yeah, it's so many, young black men, in prison like that, man, in disparate sentencing, like getting over sentenced, or like disparate sentencing where you had the same cases. A white person may catch cases, as a black person, and that person may not get any time, or like a very light sentence or probation or something, where a black person, they get, like years in prison, so that right there, man, is it's a problem, and that's why this is very important too, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to support. Like I said, I'm going tomorrow, man, and show my support, you know what I'm saying, because I feel like Karmelo is all of us, and all of us that have children, you know what I'm saying, same thing, it could end up being your child, and this why, this is why this is so important. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get up off here. I just want to say that, make this video, because like I said, I just think that has to be brought to light. Glad that he actually got the legal team to help him, you know what I'm saying? They stepped up and are helping him. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up off here. I appreciate y'all liking, sharing, comment on the video. Well, like I said, we can agree to or disagree. We disagree, we can hash out. I always be respectful toward y'all. Just ask y'all to be respectful towards me. I hope y'all out there doing well, living life full of love and happiness, doing great, strive for greatness every day. But until next one, y'all, love y'all. All right, y'all.
Fuck it, go ahead and blow off the dough. Step through the maze, man, and became amazing. About to rewrite history and change a page in a crooked book that never told us the true story. Like how we were kings and queens before the slave story, before the killing, stealing, and drug dealing on some real shit. We ran the world.